Hello and welcome back to Talking Wolves. I am Matt Cooper, and unfortunately there's no Dave today on the match reaction. He's in Birmingham enjoying an afternoon on the piss. So if you are in Birmingham, you do see him, make sure he buys you a drink because he earns enough money to do so. Starting with the lineups today, unchanged, which I don't think many fans will be surprised with. I thought the first half against Liverpool probably merited not making a change. Two notable omissions from the bench though, no Gonzalez or Santi Bueno again. Despite both being available, I thought that was a little bit strange, but this game was absolutely terrible. Wolves were never in this game apart from a period of 5 minutes before the sending off, but it was a shocking display. Wolves players looked scared, lacked any real composure, and Luton looked free and fearless. Perhaps a novelty of the Premier League still hasn't worn off for those guys, but they ultimately wanted it more than Wolves today. Mistakes were being made early on in the game, 10 minutes in. Long balls punted up forward. Semedo controls it loosely and Morris hits the bar. That should have been the wake-up call. Luton were getting a lot of space in the wide areas, and Wolves switched to a back five to try and combat that, and it did work. The balls that Luton were putting in were of good quality, but Wolves throughout the game defended the box really, really well. Kilman and Dawson were colossus in the air, and Wolves offered. I don't think we had apart from the goal, I don't remember Wolves really having a shot. They got into some good positions in wide areas in the first half, but all the crosses were the same. Against a team who play a back five, you want to have some variation in the crosses, and every cross was a flash across the box, where if you're playing against the back five who sit a little bit deeper, that's where the space is for those cutbacks. But it was the game changed with the red card. Gary O'Neill will probably come out and say that was it, the deciding factor. But even before then, Wolves were nowhere near it, and if any one team was going to go on and win that game, it was Luton. The red card, when I first saw it, I thought it was soft. It's naive from Bellegarde. Lockie has made the most out of it, but I don't think he's actually kicked him. I think Lockie has locked him up in a figure four leg lock, if anyone's ever watched the wrestling. And he's tried to get out of it, but it looks like he stamped at him. But I don't think it is a stamp, but by the letter of the law, it's a red card. He's never ever going to get that overturned. And now he should be out for 3 games because that's classed as violent conduct, I think. But it was gonna, the only way that this game was gonna come into light was by some individual pieces of brilliance, and that was Pedro Neto, who looks back to his best. Gomez sets him free down the right hand side, and he's still got so much to do. Roasts Lockyer, which is it's quite nice considering what happened in the first half, but he's still got loads to do. Cuts inside, composure, great finish, and Pedro looks back to his best. We've got to keep him fit, because at the minute he looks like the only player who's actually playing up to his potential and who actually cares. But I think in games like this, especially when you get down to 10 men, we almost miss a Neves type figure, someone to really control the game from the middle of the park. For as good as Lamina and Gomez are and the attributes they have, they just aren't those players. But the penalty, when I first saw it, I thought, Stonewall penalty, and probably the referee did. Then you look back and see it's deflected off Gomez's body and onto his hand. Premier League refereeing rules suggest that if the ball ricochets off the body part of the opponent onto his arm, it's not a penalty. So why on earth has that not been overturned? Because if that's the letter of the law, then that is not a penalty. Referee Josh Smith gave it with the on-field decision. Again, happened really quickly. It came off his arm. It looked a penalty, but VAR should be overturning that. The ref today was abysmal. It was his first refereeing display in the Premier League, I think, and you could tell every single appeal that Luton went for, the players, the fans, he gave. It was a bit of a spineless performance, to be fair, but he wasn't the reason that Wolves were bad. The way that, I know we're going down to 10 men, but the way that Gary O'Neill set us up in the second half, you've got Neto who's absolutely run himself into the ground, trying to receive balls with his back to goal. And you've got a 6'7" striker on the bench who's good with his back to goal, links play really well, he's an outlet, but also can defend our own box from set pieces. Gary O'Neill obviously doesn't fancy Kalidasic because he said he's fit to start. So what is going on? Luton wanted it more today. That's what it came down to, and Wolves were lucky to come away with a point. Now, that's not good enough from Wolverhampton Wanderers side. We should be going to Luton, and this is no disrespect to Luton, who I thought did well today. We should be beating Luton. But this is the problem with an appointment such as Gary O'Neill, because I don't think many fans, if not all, were inspired by the appointment. No one really wanted him here. But it's important to give him time. But when the team goes through adversity, fans will turn quicker on him, because no one really wanted him here in the first place. And if you look on social media, that's already started to happen. And I think he should be criticised, because the way we set up and some of the changes for substitutions just made absolutely no sense. But Wolves looking to come away with a point here. Nowhere near good enough. They have to improve. And it looks like we're going to be sucked into this relegation battle if today's anything to go by.